Okay, everyone, thank you all for joining us for our Promise+ Fall Check-In for their first year Promise+ students. So this is your first year with us, and we're so happy to officially welcome you. Under normal circumstances, we would have loved to have done this in person, but we'll do what we can. So my name is Bianca Valla-Ward. For those of you who check your email a lot, you probably recognize my name at least. Because we haven't been able to meet in person, but I'm glad to see some familiar names in the room today. Just some general housekeeping for this event. If you can make sure your name is on visibly for your screen name, so that way we can know who we're talking to. We did get your names during your registration, so you will get credit for today's event towards your requirements for Promise+. But it will help us if we're talking with you. And later on, we're going to go into some breakout rooms. So it's nice to be able to identify who we're speaking with. So thank you for changing your name if you haven't done so already. We also ask that as the program begins, if you have questions, go ahead and start writing them down. You can put them in the chat if you like, but we will have an official Q&A at the end of the event where we can ask the questions and get all of the answers that you need. And just remember that if you're having a question, if you're thinking, I'm not sure about this or something's unclear, I'm sure that there are other students who are also feeling those same concerns and questions. So we want to share those questions with the group so that everyone can also be informed. And if there's a question that you're feeling, I don't feel comfortable sharing that to the group, you can absolutely private message Jacob Perez, and he can answer that individually for you if you don't want to. There's Jacob. If you don't want to fill it with the group, he can answer the question publicly, but will not disclose who asked the question. So I hope that makes that clear. To begin, we would like to hear from our manager, Tanya Robles, and we have a video to play for you.
Welcome Promise+ students. My name is Tanya Robles and I serve as the Director of High School Outreach and Promise+. I know I can speak on behalf of all the Mount SAC employees that are here with us today when I say that we're so happy to be sharing this virtual space with you. Of course, we prefer to be with you in person, but for now, one of our top priorities is to keep everyone safe and healthy. I ask that if you feel comfortable, turn on your camera. If you're still wearing your PJs, haven't combed your hair, or maybe your living space is not too organized, I guarantee you're not going to be the only one. We really miss seeing your face, but no pressure. If you really don't feel comfortable, I completely respect that. If you just happen to miss us just a tiny, teensy-wincy little bit, or you're feeling a little lonely, I really want to recommend that you continue to participate in programs like this one. Continue to participate in events. But if you're feeling zoomed out, right? If you're saying, oh gosh, so much Zooming, then continue to stay connected, at least by calling different programs or emailing. Most of the programs on campus have a website available, and you can find our most recent contact information on there. Just stay connected. That human interaction and that support is necessary, I think now more so than ever. So I'm sure in every virtual space that you participate in, every event, you're going to hear just how proud we are of you for staying in college, for staying connected. Years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to say, I was a college student through the pandemic and I got through it, and that's so powerful. Some of you may be in your second year at Mount SAC, while others of you are just starting your second term and maybe never even set foot on our campus. But nevertheless, you're all college students, you're all stronger than you realize, and you're all really important to us. Because we care about your success, the goal of the Promise+ program is to make sure that we provide you with financial and support resources that are going to help you get through college, but also have a successful college experience. So resources like money, right? Money for school supplies, books, and food. Resources like counseling and student support workshops, and information sharing of events like the free drive-up food pantry. As a past community college student myself, I wish I would have participated in programs. I wish I would have taken advantage of resources, because if I would have done those things, honestly, my college experience would have been more valuable and probably a lot easier. So one of the best skills I did learn in community college, though, was note taking. So I want to encourage you today, take out a piece of paper and a pen, right? And take notes. Take notes as we go through today's event. Write down, set up another column that has questions. And any questions that come up, write it down. What we're going to do is the last 30 minutes of our event today will be dedicated to just answering any questions. So we do ask that you hold on to those questions, ask them at the end, or you can put them in the chat, but we most likely will not address them until the end of the event today. Now, if you have something more personal that you want to discuss, that you don't want to put out your business for everybody to see out there on the chat, then go ahead and privately message us. Privately message Jacob Perez. And then Jacob will make sure, to support you and provide you with whatever information you may need. So today it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a great journey of just information that is going to be helpful to you as a Promise student. Today is just for Promise students. So now let's talk about what we're actually doing today. So give me a minute here, not a minute, but a few seconds to just make sure that I share screen and show you what we're going to be talking about. All right. So for today, you're going to receive a program overview from the staff. We want to make sure that you know what you need to do each semester to stay eligible so that you don't lose your benefits, right? This program, you can get benefits for up to 2 years. But that's depending on if you stay eligible each semester. So we want to make sure that we provide you that information. I'm going to introduce you to the Promise+ team. You're also going to have an opportunity to connect with our counseling team. These are counselors that work in general counseling or STEP or Summer Bridge. We're also going to get you ready for winter and spring semester. Believe it or not, they're right around the corner. We want to make sure that you're ready so that we can get you your winter and spring Promise benefits. We're going to go over upcoming opportunities, and then also, like I said, the last 30 minutes will be allocated for question and answer. All right, so what is the purpose of the California Promise programs? So really, the California Promise programs were designed to increase the completion of associate's degree and certificate programs and increase transfer rates to the university. So the way that the California Promise programs do this is by providing financial resources to students and student support, right? To help you develop whatever goals, whatever path you need to carve to receive your associate's degree or your certificate program or transfer to the university. Some of you maybe are still trying to figure out what you want to do. That's okay. That's why we keep pushing and saying, meet with a counselor, talk to a counselor, because a counselor can really help you figure out, right? And help you explore different options for you. The way that the California Promise programs are designed is that benefits are provided to students for 2 years, as long as you're eligible each term, because the goal is to try and get you to achieve these goals within 2 years. However, we know that that's not a reality for all students. I know it wasn't my reality when I was a community college student, and that's okay. All right, so if you need to be at Mount SAC more than 2 years, that's fine, but just know that for those first 2 years of your college experience, you'll receive benefits. And really the third goal is to minimize the challenges that you all face in succeeding and achieving in college. So how do we do this? We have a group of dedicated folks that really work so hard to make sure that you stay eligible to receive your benefits, that are constantly communicating with you and getting information out to you and putting together programs and events that are beneficial to you. So the first one is Bianca Valley Ward, which I know you're very familiar with because she has been with Promise the longest. We both have been with Promise for 1.5 years now. And she is now serving as a program coordinator as of October 1st. She was promoted because she does just such an incredible job. And then we also have 3 peer coaches. So we have Bianca Barrera, Xiomara Pineda, and Rajon Baines. So These are our peer coaches. These are like the fresh, younger faces of Promise in that they just graduated from Mount SAC not so long ago. Two of them graduated in June and the other graduated in June of 2019. So they're able to provide you more with that student to student type of support and kind of like the real deal, right, of how to get through college. We also have Jacob Perez, which is our project expert. He used to actually work in STEP the last couple of years, but he's done such a great job that we just had to bring him on to the Promise team. And he's just working really hard to make sure that, you know, resources are available to you and communication is out there. And then last but not least, we have our newest member, which is Catalina Quintero, which just started with us October 12th. And Catalina serves as the administrative specialist. So she does all the ordering of all those goodies that you all get, you know, the sweatshirts, the t-shirts, backpacks, things like that. And that's just one of the things that she does. Then we also have our Promise+ counseling team, which is brand new to the program. So as of this week, these part-time counselors are going to be working just with Promise students. So we have Risa Estrada, Maria Camarena, and Rocio Gonzalez. And their whole purpose is going to be to make sure to provide you with the support and the information necessary to get you to complete your goals or to even develop your goals, right? Because you might all be in different spaces and that's okay. So here's a list of some of the things that they can help you with, but I really want to encourage you to get to know them, okay? Get to know them. I know they want to get to know you, and then that way they can, you know, help you at the best capacity that they can. Another thing I did want to announce is we have a new partnership with counseling. So our General Counseling Center for the college also has what's called a completion center, okay? And in the completion center are counselors and staff that work more closely with students that are maybe just, you know, a few units away from actually completing their associate's degree or their certificate program or transferring to the university. Sometimes students are going to class and doing everything and don't realize that they really only need, you know, a few more classes to complete. So we've partnered up. We have this Promise to Complete partnership in which the Completion Center is going to have activities specifically for Promise students. You will have access to those Completion Center counselors. And then there'll be Completion Center celebrations when you achieve certain milestones. An example may be that you completed all your English and math requirements that make you eligible to graduate or transfer, right? So they're still coming up with what that's going to look like, but it's really exciting to see counseling and Promise working together to make sure that you get the type of support and resources necessary to put you on the right path towards achieving your goals. So stay connected. Promise to complete, right? Promise to complete to yourself and promise to succeed. Let the adventure continue. Don't give up on yourself. We're not giving up on you. We're here for you. So again, as you go through today's event, take notes, right? Take down any questions, and the last 30 minutes, we'll make sure to get to your questions. We're really excited to have you here today, and we wish you a lot of success and a lot of joy, safe and healthy. Be well, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.
All right, thank you, Tanya, for that wonderful introduction to all of the wonderful new staffing changes and purposes of our program. As you all heard, our team is growing, and that's good news for you because that means there's more of us to serve you. We are so happy with all the progress that our program has made. Tanya kind of alluded to last year, it was just the two of us. So this year we have two cohorts. That means we have students who are in their second year of Promise+, and then we have you all who are in your very first year. And so you have a very unique experience as experiencing Promise in a completely remote environment, but we look forward to meeting you in person and having our new staff join us. And we are also enthusiastic for the work that we get to do. So hopefully soon we'll see your faces and you'll start to be able to connect with our new counselors and our peer coaches. But some people that you are already very familiar with are your summer faculty from STEP and Summer Bridge. And they all came today to meet you again, to check in on you and see how you're doing, because those were the first initial contacts that you made at Mount SAC and your first step into Promise Plus and kind of bridge that way into our program. And we're so happy that they're here to join us. And so we do have some of the counselors and faculty from the summer. So I would like to introduce, we have Alana, Annabelle, Bernadette, Chan, Elmer, Gilbert, Lisette, and Rudy, all here to meet with you today. And we're going to put you in breakout rooms. So shortly you'll get a little pop-up on your screen. Please accept it. And we're gonna pair you off with some faculty from the summer. For those of you whose faculty were unable to attend today, don't worry, we're still gonna put you in a room with amazing staff because we only have the best here at Mount SAC. So don't worry, you're still gonna have someone to connect with. And that'll be about 20 minutes, and then we'll see you back in this main room shortly after. Thank you all for spending that time with your faculty, and hope that you found it helpful and it was nice to see a friendly face. I know that you each had probably different experiences to share, different questions. If anyone would like to give a brief shout out to maybe how they're feeling about seeing their counselor again and their faculty, even if you just want to give one of the thumbs up. Was it a good experience? Yeah, I hope so. We thank our counselors and our faculty so much for attending today. They all are very, very busy, and they took a lot of time out of their schedule to make sure that they can make this work so that they could see you, because you are important to us, and we're so excited to see your faces, because we can't see you on campus yet, but we look forward to the day that we can. So thank you to our STEP and Summer Bridge faculty and counselors. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with some of the Promise requirements so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page about what is expected of us for Promise Plus. I know that a lot of times we get the same questions over and over again from our students, and that's okay. We understand that it's a lot, and this is your first year, and each program, if you're in various programs, might have different requirements. So this is our opportunity to kind of really break it down for you of what is expected of you as a Promise Plus student. So you can kind of look here where there's very basic requirements. Hopefully you don't feel overwhelmed by them. So first and foremost, we have to have at least 6 units. And that's really unique to Mount SAC because Promise Plus at Mount SAC is one of the few programs that accepts part-time students. So we understand that every student has different responsibilities. We have a lot of outside expectations, whether that be your job, your family, maybe you have to help with your siblings, or if your siblings are remote learning and you're having to help with them too. We understand that it's not necessarily as simple as it used to be. So if you're a part-time student, we welcome you and we're so happy that you're with us. So as long as you're a 6th unit student, you are eligible for Promise Plus. If you drop units, this is a question we do get a lot. Maybe you started off as a full-time student and then you dropped below to a part-time. And students say, oh no, what does that mean? Am I going to be, removed from Promise Plus? Am I going to lose my benefits? You absolutely will not, as long as you're still at least in 6 units. So that's okay. As long as you meet the minimum, you're good to go. For English and math, that is one of our requirements. As Tanya mentioned, our goal is to help you make sure that you're reaching your academic and career goals. And a lot of times students will push off taking their English or math. Maybe it's an intimidation, maybe math isn't your favorite subject, and so you avoid it. So this is kind of our way of saying, let's make sure that you're meeting those standard general ed requirements so that we can make sure that you're getting to your academic goals. So we do require that you take an English or math, it does not have to be both, for the fall and spring semester. You do need to attend a counseling appointment. This is something that we get a lot of questions about. Students say, well, what if I'm in EOPS, for example? Or what if I'm in the honors program, or I'm a student athlete and I saw a counselor through that program? That is acceptable. We will allow that as long as it was taken during the fall semester. So let's say you met with them in July that's considered summer, and so that doesn't apply for the fall semester. So as long as it was within the fall semester dates, then it is acceptable. The only caveat to that is that we do require that you complete that counseling form that we emailed you. And if you need it again, we can put it in the chat box for you. And it's just simply filling out, here's who I saw, the day that I saw them, so that we can verify that you did indeed see a counselor this semester. Your student support workshops. Today, all of you got credit for that. You've all met the minimum requirement for the fall, so you have officially met that. But we do ask that you consider attending other events. We purposely choose events throughout the campus to expose you to various departments across the board that maybe you would have never considered before. Or even picking topics, for example, that could possibly expose you to a new interest. So if it's possible with your schedule, consider attending some of the other ones that we will be promoting to you, because we really do feel that it's a benefit to you. And in regards to our GPA requirement, it's a 2.0. That is something that we're holding you to in the hopes that this will motivate you to at least meet that minimum 2.0, which again, eventually will help you in towards applying for scholarships when you're ready to transfer. Having a goal in sight that you at least are going to maintain that 2.0 is hopefully going to keep you on that track. What happens if you don't meet one of those requirements? So let's say you did not take an English or math this semester. It just wasn't feasible for you, and you're thinking, oh no, well, I'm already out. No, not necessarily. You still have the winter session to make up for that. So we kind of allow for students who are unable to complete their math or English in the fall semester to use their winter intersession as kind of a do-over. So you kind of get that chance to take that English or math. You'll probably get a contact from us at the end of the semester saying, hey, make sure that you register in the winter for that so that you can get your spring eligibility or benefits. If your GPA falls below, again, we encourage you to utilize the winter intersession to kind of build up that GPA so that you can get your benefits in spring. And this is where meeting with a counselor is going to be really helpful to you, because if you're struggling academically or you're not sure which classes to take, that counselor interaction is going to be able to sit down with you and say, okay, let's see where you are, what's going to be beneficial to you so that we can get those grades up and we can get those academic goals met if you did not attend a workshop. So luckily that doesn't apply to any of you today because you have already. But let's say in the spring, you're thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. My suggestion is check your email regularly. We send out lots of notices of here are all the events. Just for the months of September and October, we had 42 opportunities for you. Just in that, and those were the ones that were planned. We also have sometimes random ones that come up and we think, oh, that's amazing. Let's tell our students of that, and you'll get one, extra bonus opportunity. And if you haven't attended an appointment with a counselor yet, please make your appointments today. Sometimes those counselors, it can be hard to get an appointment with your schedule. So make sure that you're making that effort. And very soon, as Tanya mentioned earlier, we will be providing you information on how to schedule appointments with your own Promise+ counselor. So that information will be coming soon, but unfortunately we don't have a setup for appointments for them just yet. But in the upcoming weeks, we will be sending that to you via email. So one thing I did want to go over with you is to encourage you to visit our Promise+ website. So I don't know if many of you have already visited the website, but I want to kind of go over it with you now so that you have that chance to kind of see what do we have to offer for you on our website. We have worked very hard to make this website as comprehensive as possible, and we are constantly updating it to try to keep you the most informed. Sometimes students will email us during the weekend or after hours and have to wait for a response from us. I know that that can be frustrating, but I would like to empower you to check out our Promise+ website and seek those answers for yourself. If you visit our Promise+ website, this is the main page that you will see. As you can see, it gives an overview of our program. And if you scroll down, you will see our brand new Promise+ counselors appointment availability. So you can check here if you would like to schedule a phone appointment, or you can check here if you would like to schedule a video appointment. You can notice to my right, you can also visit one of these two links. So this will take you directly to the student success workshops as well as the Promise counselors. So let's pretend that we're wanting to look at the student success workshops. So you can click this link right here, and it'll take you to our current Promise+ students tab. And on here on the right-hand side, you will see these are the most upcoming student success workshops. Now, these are the workshops that we require that you attend at least one. So let's say you're looking at this and you're thinking, I can't attend any of these. Let me see if there are more events. So you can click right there. This will take you to the main calendar. And what you want to do is here on the left-hand side, you want to scroll down and click Promise+. This will show you only the Promise+ approved events that are upcoming. And as you can see, there are still plenty left. Let's say you wanted to attend this one. You can click it. This is an ASAC workshop. And this ASAC workshop has specific requirements for you to log in. And once you've clicked that tab, it gives you information about the program and it tells you exactly how to register for that specific workshop. Okay, so let's go back to our Promise+ website. Now we're back at the home page. And let's say you wanted to schedule that appointment with a counselor. So let's say you're like, I want an appointment via phone. You'll click this. This will take you to your portal, login, and for me, it's already logged in. My information, you can sign in, and then you can click Make an Appointment. And here you can decide what is your purpose for scheduling this appointment. You'll click that, Continue. Now it'll show you the availability. So let's say I'm not really particular on who I meet with. I just know that I need to meet with someone. So I have Tuesdays work best for me at 8:30 a.m. and I'm available all the way until, let's say, 2 p.m. So then I can do a search and I can see that there are 2 appointments available for me that meet my specific schedule. Then I can select that person and I can schedule that appointment directly with one of our Promise+ counselors. Okay, so let's go back to that website. On the main page, if you scroll down, you can find more information about your benefits. So if you have specific questions about benefits, you can click any one of these tabs. So let's say you're wondering, what are the mandatory fees and what does that encompass? You can click it, it'll drop down and explain to you what are your mandatory fees and what do we pay for. If you're looking to contact us, you can look down here. We have some important people that you may want to contact with, and you'll look on the right-hand side. Provides their website, phone number, and their web address, their email address. Scrolling back up, you can see up here we have common questions, how to participate, and how to qualify, which are also up here on the gray bar. So for qualify, you can select here. Establishing, that's for new students. So if you have any siblings or friends who are in high school now or considering Promise+, I would refer them to here. Number 1, establishing eligibility for prospective new students. For you, you are trying to maintain your benefits because you're a current Promise+ student. So right here, you'll see here are our requirements, and these are the ones that I have just gone over with you. Your enrollment requirement, that you must attend workshops, that you have to have an English or a math, that you must maintain your GPA. That's all listed for you in number 2. Let's say if you have other questions, so common questions. Again, we have for new students and current students. You are a current student. You'll select here, and as you can see, we have a plethora of questions available for you. So you can kind of scroll down through here and see if your question is already answered here. So let's say you have a question about your math and English. You can select here, and then you will see our answer right here. So again, if you have a question, before emailing us, try to see if we already have the answer available for you. This will help expedite your process so you're not waiting for someone to respond to you. You can find those questions on our website. And if, of course, if you get the answer and you're still unclear, or you just would rather speak to a person, absolutely email us. We are ready and willing to talk to you. So current Promise+ students, I want to visit this tab again. This has the workshops that I went through with you a while ago. And this also has information about your counselor requirement. Again, links that you can schedule that appointment. And then this explains your success workshops. And then again, we provide to you how to maintain your eligibility. So we do have this located on 2 locations on our website for your convenience. So I really encourage you, please play around with our website, familiarize yourself with it, read it. This is your best friend. So visit our website and please, please, please share our website with any potential incoming students that you may know in your life, whether that be your friends, family, siblings, anyone who you think who would be beneficial to be part of our program. And now I would like to show you our Promise+ Instagram account. This account is useful to you if you are planning to stay up to date on all of the most current campus and Promise+ important dates and information. Our Instagram name is MountSac_Promise+. Please follow us today. For any of you who have seen a story of ours and maybe perhaps missed it or didn't screenshot it and really wanted to get back to that information, we do archive all of our stories. So you can see here, Promise+ announcements. We archive campus announcements. And then here we have some general information, financial aid, some inspirational quotes and solidarity. So please remember that you can always go to our main page and access any of our archived previous posts, as well as seeing the posts that we have made. So we offer important dates, we offer information about upcoming workshops, events that we have. So make sure that if you haven't followed us already, that you consider following our Promise+ Instagram account. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our project expert, Jacob Perez.
Hi everyone. For winter registration, we'll be starting November 5th. Also, to our winter session, we'll be starting January 4th, 2021 for 6 weeks. Again, this is a good opportunity for you to, if you haven't made up your English or math, this is a good opportunity to make up your English and math. That's only if you didn't take it during the fall. And also too, if you did take an English or math, it's very important that we can complete the spring requirement. So preparing for spring enrollment 2021, the first day for registration will be February 22nd, 2021. For your spring benefits, you'll be receiving $150 food card if you're full-time. That's if you're 12 units or more. Also too, if you're part-time, between 6 units and also 11.5, you'll be receiving a $100 food card. For the book grant, the $250 book grant will be for full-time students, again, if it's 12 units or more, and 125 if you're in between the 6 units and 11.5, which is considered part-time.
For spring 2021 enrollment, we will be communicating with you just like we did for summer, that we lock in your units. So once you've registered this past summer, I believe it was August 10th, that's what your units were based on. So if you were full-time on August 10th, then that was the benefits you got for the fall, regardless if that changed at a later date. We don't add benefits. So if you were part-time in the fall beginning, but then you increased units to full-time, unfortunately, we do not increase benefits. So it's the same for the spring semester. So during the spring, we're going to send you a date, and I believe it is February 8th. And you will get this via email as well, but feel free to write it down now. On February 8th is when we'll be verifying how many units are you currently enrolled in for spring. And that is when we will say, okay, here is our group of full-time students for spring benefits, and here are our group of part-time students for spring benefits. And then that is what it will stay for the remainder of that semester, as long as you're in at least 6 units and above.
And also too, going over our Promise+ benefits. Benefits will be slightly changing once you enter your second year. But since you're in your first year, you'll be receiving early registration for fall, winter, and spring for 2020 for students who are for 2021 through 2022. That's only for the again, if this is your first time as a Promise+ student, you should be received for this first year only. You should be receiving early registration. For the book grant, again, you should be receiving a total of 250 for full time, and again 125 if you're part-time. Same goes for the Target e-card, which will be 150, and also too for part-time it'll be $100, and this will only be included for fall and spring semesters. And for waiving mandatory fees, that's just, what we mean by that is including the associated student fees and the health fees, and also too that will be only included for fall and spring, and this does not include the tuition or enrollment fees. And also two, one of the biggest benefits is that we offer free school supplies and mounting gear and access to a laptop loan program. And last but not least, we're offering student success workshops and for campus connection, and also two, referral to counselors. And also two, one thing we want to clear up regarding your Target e-card, it's mainly essential for your groceries, any type of essentials that you may need, any type of school supplies. And also two is this Target e-card can be worked at any type of location, so it doesn't matter as long as you see a Target location, you can use it there. So when you receive your Target e-card, it should look like "Do not reply" at www.giftcard.com. It's very important. One thing I want to take the time is the importance of receiving your educational plan for spring. It's important because you do need to really start thinking, what school do you want to transfer to? What type of associate's degree do you want to complete, or associate of arts? Or do you want to complete a certificate? What type of career goals do you have? Does your career goals align with your education, or does your education align with the career goals, if ands and buts? But it's very important to start thinking about it. Why it's important to meet with a counselor is because you start mapping out your educational plan. What type of major core courses do you need? What type of GEs do you need? What type of electives? Are these courses relatable to your major or to the school do you plan to transfer to? And it's also, please be mindful of your unit load. You're aware of what works for you. You know that full-time could work best for you, or also part-time could work best for you. Many of you are working part-time, many of you are working full-time. You know the schedule that works for you, but also having these conversations with the counselor can help you plan out your how can help you plan out the how many semesters you plan to be here. But that could be 2 years, 3 years. It varies for everybody. For spring semester, please make sure to make a 45-minute appointment with the counselor. That way you complete your Promise+ counseling requirement. And please, when you do meet with a counselor, please remember to submit your counseling form. And the image to the right, that's what that's the link right there. I'll be posting the chat in the chat room, the counseling link form. That way you can if you already meet with a counselor, you can just submit that form. And also too, one thing I want to emphasize, if the counseling department is already if you can't make an appointment with them, you can also make an appointment with, if you're an EOPNS student or a DREAM, Access, or Honor student, you can meet with those counselors and they'll be counted for your Promise+ requirement for spring. Also too, I want to take the time to really this is really awesome. I want to take the time to really, I know we're currently in a different time and age, and I know every 5 years or 2 years, everything changes. But one thing I want to say is that, look, I was a student just like you. I went to Mount SAC. I didn't know my first year at Mount SAC. I didn't know where I was going to go. I never even planned to go to Mount SAC. My first year at Mount SAC was just happened to be just honestly by chance. And some of you, this kind of crazy we're talking about this because we actually have a counselor here who actually helped me submit my summer bridge application. That's Annabelle. I remember I was confused. I remember not knowing what to do. I don't know if this was for me, honestly, but I remember what always stood out to me. I remember I went to Mount SAC, and that was the first time I had counselors care about me, and that was a trip. Because when I went to high school, I went to Nogales. Not that they were bad counselors or anything, but I always felt like you're just a number. What's next? Ticket, okay, next. But here I had the first time I had someone like, how are you doing? What do you mean how I'm doing? Like, it was a trip hearing that. Yeah, how's your day? What's your plans? What's your goals? Where do you want to go? Where are we going? It was weird hearing that. And it was really, honestly, it forever changed my perspective on college education. And also remember thinking, this is the first time I feel supported. This is cool. This is really, really cool. And as you can see here, like, that's me as a young pup. As you can see, I'm with a blue shirt. That's me as a young pup. I didn't know any better. I didn't know how to dress. I still don't know how to dress, but it was a blue shirt. But I was a peer advisor at one point. And I remember it took me 5 years to transfer. The reason it took me 5 years to transfer, because I didn't know what to do. I thought I was gonna become an EMT. Then I ended up transferring to Cal State LA with a bachelor to receive a bachelor's degree in Mexican American Studies. And I also realized I had a lot of support when I was at Mount SAC. I had actually counselors, I had faculty members telling me, this is how you should write your essay. This is how you should complete this formula for this math problem. And it really taught me a lot of useful transferable skills, because at Mount SAC, I was able to really start relying on the resources that we have here. Where can I get tutoring? Where's the writing support? Who should I talk to for which to take the right classes for just to be sure I'm on the right path. And also too, it was really a lot of responsibilities because life happens. I'm number 3 out of 7 kids. I never thought I would be here. I'm actually the first guy in my family to actually get a master's degree, which is a trip. And so, mind you, that's me when I'm transferring. You can see in the bottom, like that's me also too. One thing I also want to say is like change is normal. Change is very, very normal. As you can see, I used to like shaving my head. I used to love shaving my head, but I have hair now too. So, but next slide. So when I transferred, which was an awesome experience transferring too, and one thing before I transition over to Cal State LA is that even though it took me 5 years, don't worry about the timeline. Don't worry about that. Just go at your own pace. Doesn't matter if it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Go at your own pace that works best for you, because you know yourself better than anybody else, and you know what time you're going to study, and you know what time you're going to eat, you know what time you're going to work, you know what time, you know yourself. So if you feel that you want to go by 2 years, then do it. If you want to go 3 years, then do it. Because when I actually did transfer, I actually felt more like an adult. I knew where the resources were at Cal State LA. I actually went over there on a typical day, took a day off, went over there. I actually took a bus over there, actually drove over there twice just to make sure, okay, what the feel like, what is it like to commute over there? And it was a learning experience. I still made good friends. This is an educational journey. And when I finally transferred to Cal State LA, I still had a lot of questions, like where should I still go? What's my next step? And I remember I really always thought about myself, like, okay, you know what? Like I should start thinking of other options. Maybe I should think of grad school. I never thought about grad school, So you know what? I just went with it. And also too, shout out to Chanton. I remember I was applied to grad school. I'll end this quick. I was applying to grad school, and it was a frantic trying to get letters of rec, because I didn't know who to ask or how to ask. And I remember I asked Chan, like, hey, I need a letter of rec. And she's okay, bet, what's next? Oh crap, I didn't know what to do. So she asked me, like, I need this from you. You want this letter of rec? And I remember it was just a positive experience. And I remember when I applied, everything felt good. And I got into grad school. It was an adjustment. Grad school was challenging. But one thing I can sincerely say is, look, comparing to community college, you're also to your bachelor's degree, master's or PhD, you're going to learn, you're always going to make adjustments, because that's part of your growth, and that's how you learn. And it's through your own personal experiences, that's where you grow. So take this time to really, honestly, you should be proud of yourselves. You're all here. You're in your fall semester during a pandemic. You're literally writing it out. This is pretty lit. Sorry. I just want to say it's amazing talking to you all, and thank you all.
Thank you, Jacob, for sharing your experiences. As you mentioned, we all have our different path, and it's okay and can be unique to you. And so it's a blessing to hear your story and see that you made it. And I'm sure you're an example to your family and your friends. So next, we would like to share some other examples of advice that students from Mount SAC and staff from Mount SAC would like to share with you. For some of you, you may have seen this video before if you've attended a previous event, so consider it a friendly reminder. Otherwise, just listen to some of this advice. Some of it may seem a little non-applicable because it's specifically for when we are back on campus, but it can still apply to you today. So we do encourage you to listen to it and think of how can you turn some of those connections from in-person to your remote learning environment.
Stay in school. Focus on classes.
Everyone's here for the same reason. Just be yourself and everything will be okay.
Just find out where the restrooms are at. It's very important because when you have to go, it's going to be hard to find one closest to your classroom.
Get in contact with your professor and just kind of create a relationship with them, and it's kind of just be like, meeting with them outside of class times, like office hours.
Trust the process. You're here for a reason. You're in a great place with lots of people that are here that are going to help you and support you and just love on you. So just trust that you're right where you're supposed to be.
To not let your high school self get in the way of your college self. High school doesn't matter whether or not you were like a C student barely passing. College is a new experience, and you can start all over as a student.
Try to get involved in any clubs, any special programs, anything that makes you feel that you're connected.
So the more involvement you have on campus, the more of a sense of community you build within your classmates, staff members, professors, counselors, and that's just the key to your success.
Number one, syllabus. Read the entire syllabus and jot down when your tests are and when big papers are due.
Try and find your support system and your community on campus.
The best thing that I could tell you all is that you belong here. Just remind yourself why you're here, why you pushed yourself through the entire Mount SAC matriculation process to be able to take classes here. Whenever you feel like you can't do something, whenever you feel like you don't belong somewhere, remind yourself to that moment when you decided to go to college and use that motivation to power through.
Take it down. There's no need to rush. The community college of Mount SAC provides the student with a lot of resources.
Make sure you eat, bring snacks to class, whatever it may be, stay hydrated. If you do not eat, you will not be able to focus in class.
Make friends with your professor. Enjoy college. College is not just about grades. College is about making connections to people, finding your identity, finding the things that you like to do in life. Go explore and be curious and have fun.
You most likely will not be the same student you came in as. That process of change, the amount of work that you're going to put in, you might think you might not be able to do it, but in the end, when you get through it, you realize how much work you put in. And our role here at Mount SAC as a student ambassador is to help y'all. Anytime you see us with the swag, you know, the student ambassador on the shirt inside student services, do not be ashamed. Don't feel like you can't ask a question. No question is a stupid question. Ask us anything from where the restroom is, where I can get some food, where my first class is. Don't be ashamed to ask us on and off the clock from me.
Okay, hopefully you found some of that information valuable and you got a little sneak peek of the campus. Maybe for some of you haven't visited the campus before, so you kind of can see a little bit in the background. I will personally say it's nice to see some friendly faces in that video, and hopefully soon you will also be those friendly faces that we're very familiar with, and we'll get to see you. And for making those connections and expanding your college experience is definitely a struggle during this remote time, but I know that it's only temporary, and we'll see you soon on campus and you'll get to make those connections. But don't hesitate to reach out to your faculty now. So, you know, for those of you who are comfortable, you know, turning your videos on during class and reaching out to your faculty, they will remember you when you get back on campus. And so when you're ready to talk to them in person again, and when you need that recommendation letter, you won't just be a name, you'll be a face and a real person. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Next, I would like to introduce our peer coaches. They're going to share a little bit about themselves because they will be reaching out to you soon. And these will be the people that you can connect to on a peer level to see if you have any questions or concerns, or even just need to hear some friendly advice or just have someone check in with you. These will be your peer coaches to do that. So for Bianca Barrera, her mic is out. So Ziomara is going to go ahead and share her information for her, but Bianca is here in the room, so if you have a question about her shared experience, you can feel free to message her in the chat.
Everyone, so I'm Xiomara. I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Bianca, also known as B. So B started at Mount SAC in the fall of 2014 as industrial design major. She did graduate in spring 2019 and received her AAT in political science and AA in social behavior science. And then she did transfer to CSUN, and then from there she went to La Sierra University. And then from there, she just got accepted to Cal State San Bernardino, so she will be continuing her bachelor's there. And then during her time at Mount SAC, she was part of the high school outreach where she worked. and now she is currently working at, in Promise+Plus. She was also part of the PI club, part of ACES and Arise. So if you have any questions for her, she will go ahead and provide her information in the chat in case you all want to connect with her. And then I will go ahead and share a little bit about myself. So like I mentioned, my name is Xiomara Pineda. Before I attended Mount SAC, I actually attended Riverside Community College. And then I ended up transferring to Mount SAC because I did want to do the vet tech program at that time. So I attended Mount SAC in 2017 and I graduated with my AA in sociology in 2019. I then transferred to La Sierra University, where I'm currently finishing up my last 2 quarters, and I'll be graduating with my BA in sociology. And during my time at Mount SAC, I was actually part of the EOPS program, which I do recommend for you all to apply. It's a really good opportunity, great resource. They help you out a lot. And then I was also part of the FEM club. And then I also attended lead workshops during my time at Mount SAC, which helped me out when it came to applying to the universities. So I would recommend as well and encourage you all to attend these lead workshops because they do help you for your personal and professional growth. And then I also did work in the high school outreach department for 2 years during my time at Mount SAC, and I currently work at, of course, Promise+Plus. And then, like I mentioned, when I did transfer to Mount SAC, I was part of the vet tech program. I did want to become a vet tech student. However, plans changed and I ended up switching my major to sociology. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. And if you have any questions, I will go ahead and provide my information in the chat as well.
Thank you, Xiomara, for sharing your story. My name is Rajan, but I also go by Ray just because it's usually easier to pronounce. I'm also one of the peer coaches for Promise+Plus. I started Mount SAC back in fall 2018. However, I did graduate high school back in 2012. And what I didn't put on here is that I went to ASU for almost a full quarter. However, I wasn't ready for that transition. I didn't know what to expect. College wasn't really a talk in my family because I am a first generation college student. So all that factored into me dropping and just joining the workforce, thinking that I was better off doing that. However, later on, I did, like I said, in 2018, I did come to my senses and realize that I want to get an education. I want better for myself. And just 2 years ago, or just last year, I graduated in spring 2020 with my AAT in sociology and in communications. My time spent at Mount SAC was with EOPS, Arise, Aspire, MMI, Transfer Club, a little bit of Bridge, El Centro. I worked and was part of HSO, and then now I'm currently a part of the Promise+ program as a peer coach. I did transfer to UC Santa Cruz, but I'm doing everything remotely, so I'm still local here, but I'm hoping to get my BA in sociology and hoping to become a counselor at Mount SAC, if not somewhere, hopefully maybe in like the high school setting, to kind of prepare students that are transitioning either to the community college or to UC or Cal State. I'm so excited to be a peer coach. I will definitely leave my contact information in the chat after I'm done speaking, just so that if you ever want to reach out, whether it's about how to become part of a certain program or just to chat and get to know each other, definitely feel free to reach out. And before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and do a poll just to kind of see where you guys are at and what you guys will expect from us as peer coaches and the Promise+ program. So before I launch it, the first question is going to be, are you a first generation college student? Which means, are you the first one in your family, your immediate family, to attend college? Let me share the results. So it shows that it was almost a half in between. So it was 48% yes, first gen, and 52% no. So it's probably about half. It's almost about half and half, which is great. So the ones that don't know too much about college, well, that's what the resources on campus such as Promise+ will provide. And those who know about college, we're still here as a resource to kind of give you more insight and our personal stories as well. So when choosing a workshop, are they based off your educational or professional goals? So good. Most of you voted yes, which is really cool. It's good to know that you already have educational professional goals and going to these workshops to kind of improve your road to success in completing those goals. And even the 19% that, or the 18% that chose no is great too, because sometimes we usually choose a workshop just because it sounds interesting. And just because you attended that workshop, it helps leads to developing those educational and personal goals. So both answers are very great. So when connecting with a peer coach, what is it that you want from us? So a lot of you put all the above. So being able to relate with us as peer coaches, constant up-to-date Promise+ information, which we will usually email you at least once a week, if not every day, about different workshops, programs, and just campus resources to kind of help you transition and get more comfortable in making Mount SAC more of a home, even though we're remote, just so you know you have that support system with us. With starting your first year remotely, what have you found challenging? So majority of you picked connecting with peers, and then second was staying on task, which I can totally relate. Like I mentioned, I am a current student at UC Santa Cruz, and I do struggle with that as well. But that's what we're here for as peer coaches and counselors as well, to kind of help guide you and getting those connections and staying on task with work, even though everything is remote. I myself have that struggle, but being that I came from Mount SAC and had that support and guidance, I'm able to find ways to reach out. So I thank Mount SAC for that. And that's what we're here for. And then the last question, with taking classes remotely, how can Promise+ assist you in these changes? So majority of you guys picked both. Send emails with campus resources and then check-ins with peer coaches, which we intend to do anyways. As peer coaches, like I said, we want to make sure that your educational journey is as possible while providing you resources and various information about different programs and what is held on campus. Like I said, during my slide, I will provide my contact information as well as my other peer coaches in the chat. So if you ever feel the need to reach out to us, whether it's for just a chat or just to get connected, please feel free and do not hesitate.
Thank you, Ray. That's really helpful information to us. And if there's something that maybe you thought, hey, that wasn't an option, or I would really like to share this suggestion, we are more than happy to hear any feedback you can provide us that you think would help us to better serve you. Or if maybe we missed something that you think, hey, it would be helpful if we had this information, please feel free to email us or give us a call so that we can work on that for you, because we really are a new and growing team, which means that we are able to develop and figure things out with you. And if it's something that we can't provide, maybe we can connect you with someone